going on, MMA fans? Got the heater rolling here in the background. It's getting chilly again. That's how you know it's in the the winter in Florida when you got to throw a heater on. Anyways, that's not important. What is that everyone's been asking for this, and I'm gonna deliver. 2010 year-end awards video. Here we go. We're gonna roll down this. It ain't gonna be a long video. We don't have a lot to cover, but I think that it's some solid stuff that needs to be discussed. Let's start with the worst decision of the year: Namfan versus Leonard Garcia. Luckily, we're getting a rematch, but I'm not gonna go any further than to say that that fight is probably one of the most perfect examples of how flawed the 10-point must system is. It shows the flaws of the commissions, that they're not willing to accept and admit that there is a problem. And that's about as much as I'm going to say on that, because I've beat that subject to death, and I'm not going to do it anymore. Unless something occurs where I got to, put my 2 cents out there again on it. But I put, I think, enough videos out on that. That one's going to be my worst decision of the year, Namfan versus Leonard Garcia. And it's kind of sad that I have to even bring that up. Let's go over the sub of the year. I had 2 that stood. Had a rough day today, so if some words come out kind of random or weird, just be forewarned of that. But anyways, it stood out to me. The one that I think deserves to get the nod is how it went down, considering what the individual has been throughout his career, and the fact that he's been able to stay out of those situations, and that's Fabricio Verdum versus Fedor Emelianenko. Now, the reason that I believe that this fight, and I'll touch on the other one that I thought might be considered my secondary runner-up as submission of the year, give or take. But anyways, when you break down the submission and you realize what it took to get to that point, it's really a beautiful piece of grappling. And when I say that, if you followed any of the videos that came after that fight, where some of the Gracies broke the fight down and talked about how the sub played out, it was a intricate chess match that occurred there. You had Fedor caught in a triangle. He tried to turn the corner and did the correct thing by turning, relieving the pressure from the neck, and then tried to escape out the back door. And by doing that, he still had his arm within Verdum's grasp, where Verdum could start pulling and twisting for an armbar almost. And it forces Fedor to make one of 2 choices. He either has to pull out, break his arm, or goes back into the submission that's already been initiated to relieve that pressure, and then the triangle choke gets sunk in deeper, and that's exactly what happened. And that's what they call keeping you in the party. So, Verdum was able to do that very, very beautifully, and by that, I think that deserves submission of the year. It was one of the, the most technical pieces of grappling that I think you could say that maybe we've seen in a long time when you look at how it played out, and you consider how the submission was set up and all the little intricate pieces that took place for it to occur. I'm not saying it was the most flashy submission, I'm not saying it was a go-go plata or an omoplata or a standing triangle. I'm just saying it was an intricate technical type of submission, and I think that is one of the few that you get to see all the time, where it's just broken down almost systematically, forcing the individual to do pretty much what you want them to do. And by that, Verdum won. And Fedor, how many times have you seen him get caught in a situation like that? I mean, I think that's the other reason why I give it submission of the year. The other one, some people brought this one up, and I think that it deserves at least to be mentioned, but Silva versus Sonnen, with a close mix in there with probably Chris Lieben and Akiyama. Those all can be into that mix of just you know, into the fight, crazy subs that just occur out of nowhere. So let's keep rolling. That's my sub of the year. KO of the year, I'm going to have to give it to Paul Daly and Scott Smith. That was just a nasty knockout. The other one that I think could be a close runner-up, personally, this is just mine, one of the ones that I really liked, was Lawler versus Manhoff. I thought that that was a solid one. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to Paul Daly and Scott Smith. I think that that knockout was vicious, and I think that it is KO of the year, at least in my opinion. Event of the year, UFC 116, close runner-up, WEC 48. 116 was just a solid card. WEC 48 was also a solid card. I think 116 edges it out just by a little bit, but 48 was definitely right there. Some individuals, have mentioned that, and I know I got a couple comments on this. Some thought that WEC 53 was a solid card as well, and I won't disagree with that either. But I definitely think UFC 116 with 48 following close behind should be the event of the year. The fight of the year has got to be, just saying, any of you that have not seen this fight, I would suggest make sure that you go check it out, because it was a solid fight. But Santiago Misaki 2 didn't get a lot of credit, I think, but it definitely was an awesome fight. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Awesome performance by both individuals, and I think that it definitely deserves fight of the year. So those are my picks. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. Event, sub, fight, KO, worst decision. I think that's a wrap. So let me know what you guys think, as always. Leave some comments, constructive, negative, positive. I will be back this weekend. And my phone just went off. I'll be back this weekend to do a UFC 126 breakdown. Talk about those fights. I might shock you a little bit on one of the fights with my pick, but I'm going to give you the reasoning of why I'm going the way that I'm going. And that may change come Saturday. I may change and flip-flop on that. But as of right now, I'm pretty dead set on what I'm going to pick. So look forward to that. And I got a lot of good events coming up here. I've already discussed some of those in my last video of what was coming up. But a lot of MMA coming up, a lot of things to cover. I'll probably also knock out a topic video as well coming up here soon. Just discussing some things that I've noticed as of late that I think need to be discussed. And other than that, that'll be about it. So you guys take it easy. Hope you enjoyed my WEF video blog. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It was a good night of fights. Got a lot of good footage. I think y'all all enjoy that. So you guys take it easy. And I'll see you for our UFC 126 predictions. Take it easy, guys. I can run!